Here it is again. Watch his timing. Bang! Shoulder to shoulder. Here it is again. Watch his timing. Bang! Shoulder to shoulder.
What a hit. Jake Trouba hit Nassim Kadri. Rangers v. Flames last night. The Powerball is going to be $1 billion. This is interesting to see. Your daily sports podcast, news, narratives, takes, gambling. A lot of crappy things going on in the world right now, of course, with the Turkey, Syria earthquake, death toll rising into the thousands. So let's talk about sports, get your mind off it. Also, the toxic spill in Ohio. Ugh, gross. Yeah, so we got the Super Bowl this week. Let's do some happy stuff. They're calling it the Arizona Super Bowl, which is a point of marketing. It's a point of contention. I hate when the NFL does this shit. They like the North Texas Super Bowl, and then they make all the media call it North Texas. Dude, shut up. Arizona. It's in fucking Phoenix. If we call it whatever you want, it's just the Super Bowl. It's just the Super. It doesn't matter. Rangers do beat the Flames in overtime as the NHL starts back up after the All-Star break last night. Kyrie Irving being traded, all of the takers have takes, and some people are, like, one or two people defend him, but most people are like, this is just low-hanging fruit, because he just seems like a genuinely bad person. Just like a crummy, rotten guy. I don't know what else to say. That's what he seems like. Doesn't seem like he treats people with respect, and that he's kind of a know-it-all. Yeah. Okay, so let's get into it. The first thing I want to get into is this is Tom Brady's retirement sand. People were bidding on it. This bid was for $99,000 plus $5.10 for shipping and handling. So I think what happened was that some people in Florida saw him retire, grabbed some sand from the general vicinity, scooped it in a jar, and then are selling that shit on eBay. And not just one jar. There are many jars. It's a good idea. As far as return on investment, that's not a bad way to make some dough, I think. I think that would probably be pretty lucrative. Got some tomorrow, Controversial Wednesday tomorrow is going to slap. I got some stuff for you. Remember Brian Flores, the former head coach of the Miami Dolphins that was fired for not being Sean Payton / for maybe being black, who is also suing the league with a number of other coaches who feel as if they were discriminated against. He is now the defensive coordinator of the Minnesota Vikings, which is kind of cool. We'll see with the lawsuit. What happens with that? Eventually, stuff is going to happen with the lawsuit. Because that's part of the deal, man. You're going to have to figure out what the dynamics are going to be. I don't think it's going to settle, and if it settles, I think it's going to be like a very small amount. There does seem to be collusion in his lawsuit, but the weird thing is that usually when you're suing people, you get, how do I put this? They don't want you working for the company that you're suing at the time, because it's just an awkward situation. And nobody knows exactly how this is going to work out. So anyway, he's back in the NFL. He kind of got saved by Mike Tomlin last year, defensive assistant coach or whatever, and now he is the defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings. So really great hire for the Vikings. He's going to be really good. Okay, so Super Bowl prop bets. Let's get into some funny prop bets. I always waste this money, and I just feel as if it's so easy for Vegas to just like take our money. Andy Reid special. Will Andy Reid wear a Hawaiian shirt during the Super Bowl? Plus 1,600, yes. Minus 15,000, no. So let's just see. Just for shits and gigs. What happens if we put here? I'll put this up on the screen. What happens if we put a $5 bet? We would win 4 cents. All right. So like, let's just say like you want to invest like your mortgage. Put 30,000. For $30,000 bet, you could win $210.00. So, yeah, I don't know about that one being worth it, but there are some other. Andy Reid special. Will the words burger or cheeseburger be said by Andy Reid during the postgame interview? I'm going to say no, because I don't think he's going to win. The coin toss. Which team will win the coin toss? That's the best bet. Put the whole Bet the farm. And Vegas, fuck Vegas for making them both minus odds. It should be even money. You should be if a coin toss is 50-50, then Vegas should pay out 50-50. What a ridiculous premise that is. I can't believe that that's what's going on. I got a storyline for you from the Super Bowl. So the Kelce's is fun, and we'll get more into Kelce stuff in a moment. They interviewed their mom on their very successful podcast. In Philadelphia, there is a Kansas City Chiefs bar, but it's going to be closed on the Super Bowl. They're going to cancel their Super Bowl party. I think that's the right move. Now, why they canceled their Super Bowl, it depends what you believe. Big Charlie's didn't use a ticketing website like Eventbrite to sell their tickets. They did it the old school way. Show up at the bar, buy a wristband, watch like a lot of people did. So they didn't keep track of all of this, and the bar holds like 100 and some people, which is fine. So they couldn't get people that wanted to watch there while they also wanted their regulars to be there. So it seems like a semantic kind of logistics issue. It's okay to just say you're scared of the shit show. I mean, I don't. Would anybody blame them for canceling just because the Eagles are playing the Chiefs? I feel like that is as good a reason to cancel an event as any. Would you want to host a Super Bowl party against the hometown team and that hometown has to grease light poles so people don't tear them down? I feel like that's not a thing to necessarily feel like you have to apologize for. But that's just me. What do I know? More coming out about the Manchester City drama that they've been cheating for as long as a decade. People have accused them for it. It's happening, but they're going to fight back. They're going to fight these allegations because the worst case scenario is they could get relegated. Not relegated, suspended. Which means they, as a squad, would then, like, they have to play, like, they're required. I mean, they have a club. They have to find a league to play, and then League One, or whatever the other league would be, that league will take them, obviously, because people will watch Man City, and then some of their stars might leave because they don't want to play in the minors, or Man City, with all of their oil money, could want to form that Super League. Remember when they were going to do a Super League with all the teams in Europe, and they were just going to ditch their national leagues, like the best 2 or 3 teams in Spain, the best 7 teams in the Premier League, the best 2 teams in Germany, the best team in Italy, just like, let's all play each other all the time. Remember how stupid an idea that was? Yeah, but I think that we're going to start to see that kind of thing resurface because Man City cheated, and now they're like, let's do this. And I think everyone's just going to be like, yo, you fucked up, and we're not going to bail you out this time because we have been bailing you out, but we're not going to do that this time. You're going to have to do it on your own. Derek Carr is an interesting situation right now. See, like that? That's really just a hard segue. Just a hard one. Derek Carr, the quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders, he has to be released by the team 3 days after the Super Bowl. Otherwise, he's due like millions and millions of dollars. And they don't want him on their team anymore. So they're not going to pay that. As a result of that, they have to either find a trade partner or cut him. And teams are like, well, if we trade for him, we're guaranteed to get him. But then we also would have to pay that fucking thing. So not only is it more expensive for us, but it also costs us draft picks or players or whoever. And then we want them on our. So we're going to deplete our team in order to get Derek Carr. So people aren't going to do that, which has everyone fighting online if Derek Carr's a good quarterback or not. And everyone's take is kind of. I mean, like Jared Goff and Jimmy Garoppolo. Jared Goff, Jimmy Garoppolo, Ryan Tannehill, Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr. They're all the same to me. We're like, they'll never win a Super Bowl, ever, in a million billion years. Never. Never, ever, never. But they don't suck. You just have to have elite talent around them for them to be really good. The reason that this is important that people are fighting online about this is because his brothers are bitches. They are sensitive. He's sensitive too, which is fair enough. If you're an athlete and you don't want to hear criticism of yourself, I vibe with that. Like people just get on their phones and be mean to you. Like that is ridiculous. So you just block him. Fine. His brothers, one of whom works for NFL Network, David Carr, remember when he was drafted first overall from, was it Fresno or wherever he went? for the Houston Texans. They were ready for him, and he probably would have been good. He's probably better than Derek Carr, but I mean, who knows? Do you remember that? That guy blocks these fans, and so now it's becoming a thing. People are tracking if they've been blocked by the Carr brothers. It's something that I find just unbelievably hysterical. Just hilarious. NBA scores from last night. So the interesting story in the NBA to me is the Cavs. They have kind of come back from the dead. A lot of help from Donovan Mitchell in that situation. The Jazz blew it up. Still just a well-coached, well-run organization. So the Celtics are in first place in the East. Then it's the Bucks, Sixers, then the Cavs. Then it just kind of drops incrementally after till we get to the Pistons, who blow ass. In the Western Conference, Nuggets, Grizzlies, Kings, Clippers, Mavs, Suns, Warriors, Timberwolves, Pelicans, Jazz, Trailblazers, Thunder, Lakers. Lakers are 4 games below 500, and they are 3 games out of a playoff spot. 2.5 games out of the play-in game, which is incredibly stupid. You remember the NBA does the play-in game? How fucking stupid is that? Do you want to watch the Timberwolves play the Pelicans for the right to get smashed? The play-in game is objectively stupid. The NBA sucks at being a league. It's the WWE. It really is. Like, I don't want to watch this. No one's going to. It was fun because you want more sports, but people don't want more irrelevant basketball. People want more basketball. They don't want more irrelevant basketball, and that's what this is going to be. So scores from last night, nothing interesting happened for the most part. The teams that are good won. The teams that are bad lost. For example, the Warriors beat the Thunder by 30. The Bucks beat the Trailblazers. I guess it was just a business as usual night. Celtics beat the Pistons. Nothing to write home about for either of those teams, which is interesting because in basketball, because there's so few players in the court, if you just don't have one of these guys, like, you know about 10 games in if your season's going to suck or not, and then it just does, and you can just kind of not care. But you kind of are in a situation where you need your team to really suck really, really, really bad so that you can get a better player. And so the teams that are, like, the teams that kind of suck, I feel worse for them, like the Hawks, Bulls, Pacers, Raptors, you know? Timberwolves, Pelicans, Jazz, Trailblazers, like the Lakers. Man, what a shitty franchise that has become in such a quick amount of time. LeBron James chasing the scoring title. He will get there very soon. All-time leading scorer in NBA history, which is amazing. And the people are going to debate, is he good? Like, well, is being the person who scored more points than anybody else ever, does that mean he's good? I don't know. I guess we could. Is he a good scorer? I don't know. Is he good at basketball? I don't know. Who's to say, really, with any of this? Is LeBron James good? Who the fuck knows? I guess we just have to look at the data. All right, back and better than ever for Controversial Wednesday tomorrow.